Lately, everyone's been talking about the sense of hopefulness in the business community. Just look at that small business survey from earlier this week that showed the biggest increase in optimism since 1980, when Reagan was elected. But if companies are going to expand, they need to invest in new technology. Which brings me to a stock we haven't focused on enough in a while. It's called Pegasystems, symbol PEGA, the software company that helps develop custom applications for marketing, sales, and they're also involved in customer relations management. The same business as Salesforce.com and also business process optimization. Now, Pega's got an impressive client list. Some of these names you know, AIG, PayPal, Kraft, among others. Their most recent quarter report in early November was solid. And the stock's rallied over 47% in the last year. Though, like many technology names, it's been stalled for a little bit. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe it should be going higher. Can this software stock keep climbing as we enter the Trump era? Let's take a closer look with Alan Trefler. He's the founder, chairman, and CEO of Pegasystems. Get a better sense of how his company's doing and where it's headed. Mr. Trefler, welcome back to Mad Money. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Have a seat.
Thank you.
All right, so you got 8 of the top 10 credit card issuers, 8 of the top 10 global banks, 6 of the top 10 communication service providers, 10 of the top 10 largest healthcare payers. But the company started, or at least your background is, in winning chess.
Well, it's true that when I was in college, I won the World Open chess tournament, which was a good time to retire from chess and move into computers, which is actually pretty much what happened at that stage.
But you develop programming. You're obviously a guy who likes to write code, like programming.
You know, I've been banished from the code writing business for the last, I'd say, 25 years at least. But I'll tell you, part of our whole philosophy is that there are better ways to do coding than to have people do it. And
well,
it's an interesting
I think we got to get into that. One of the things that you're a tremendously transparent company. There's a lot of great videos on your website. One of the things that I saw was that there is an indication for when a Schwab, which is a very good client, does just have to write, they want to do a wire to a house, to buy a house. Mm-hmm. And the complications and how difficult and the facts, Pegasystems has solved these kinds of knotty issues.
Well, you know, we have 3 core technologies that we've put together into one unified platform, very different than our competitors, which have bought lots of stuff and, you know, Frankenstacked them to stitch them together. So what we do for our customers is we go end to end. We can go right from the customer interaction all the way through the management of the work, through the decisioning to fulfillment.
You solve the case, which is why I want to talk about this Robobank in the Netherlands. You have developed a process. A lot of people say, hey, it takes 10 days to get a loan. It turns out to be technology is a gating factor. But tell us about what you guys did.
Well, you know, I was just there a couple of months ago, and what they've done has revolutionized small business lending right there. Much better than competitors.
Well, you say they, but a lot of it's Peg. I know you credit your clients, but just walk us through what you've done.
Well, actually, to be frank, they have their own center of excellence. They've become such good users of our technology that they did 95% of it themselves, which is part of our vision. But what they're able to do is make it for a small business person to come in and use the internet to fill in some information. And they guarantee that the next day they'll have a meeting with a loan officer with a yes or no decision for up to €1 million.
See, I think this is so great because we hear about a lot of these smaller lenders. They do crowd lending and stuff, but it's not for that size, and it's not in a way that the bank is necessarily your ally. I felt that that's what they were doing here. Another thing that I liked is you talk a lot about these situations like with a Sprint, where it's fluid. You got to try to figure out how to keep that customer. Another thing people use Pegasystems for.
Yeah, well, we were very excited, actually, because Sprint bought us, and then their CEO publicly announced that they were using us before we'd gone into production. And lo and behold, the next quarter, for the first time in 14 quarters, they held their own. And since then, their churn rates have been positive. They've actually had 7 great quarters as a result of that.
That's why the stock is quadrupled. Sure. Another one that I like, I'm just listening because I just like them. I like the things that I read, okay? I saw some instances where you talked about cross-selling. Now, my charitable trust owns Wells Fargo. That's been unfortunate. But the notion of cross-selling and trying to hit a target is not something that Pegasystems is really set up about. It's set up about how to help the client. It's a different frame of reference.
It's kind of a mix of the both. Okay. The key is to make sure that you're always considering what's best for the customer, not just what the customer will buy, but something that's suitable. And because we control the decisioning and we control the processes, we can really bring that to either the moment of interaction for self-service or in an assisted channel like a branch. We can help make sure that the cross-sell and upsell happens right, happens appropriately, and is completely effective and genuine.
Well, could have certainly saved the bank billions of dollars in market cap. Wedbush put out a piece recently, and they liked your stock, which talked about Pega's strategic initiatives are sustaining competitive differentiation, broadening its market opportunity. We're not surprised that Pega showed up on Salesforce.com's May 2016 M&A target review. I mean, you guys are different, so it would dovetail theoretically.
Perhaps it could in theory, but I think, as flattering as it is to be considered, and it obviously says something that, of people being interested in us, I think that this culture of merger and acquisition in software has been highly detrimental to, frankly, the long-term prospects of the industry and to the customers who take advantage of the software.
Well, explain that, because most of these companies have done, Oracle's bought so many companies, SAP's bought so many companies. Salesforce not alone.
Well, I think Oracle was a much better company. If you go back to when Larry Ellison, hadn't hired Safra Catz, hadn't hired, Chuck.
You're willing to say that we're on air.
I'm willing to say it.
You're not fearful.
One has to be cautious appropriately, but I don't think there's anything other than the truth in what I'm saying. The reality is that once Oracle was a software company, and it since became an investment bank, and it hired investment bankers. And it's been great for their shareholders, perhaps not recently, but I think it's not been good for the quality and the evolution of the software. And what's really important to us is that our clients get things that are real, that the case studies you talk about and the sort of stories you see, they're very tangible. And it's funny, when I listen to a lot of the other companies and competitors, it's all fluff. We're not the fluff company. We're the company that does the real heavy lifting.
Well, I tell you, after I read through yours, I felt like calling the people I do and I do simple transactions, so I can't own stock, and just say, why am I faxing this? It's 2017. Why do you need a fax? And the answer is maybe because they don't have Pegasystems.
Well, feel free to drop our name in any circumstance.
Okay, fair enough. That's Alan Trefler, the founder, chairman, CEO of Pegasystems. It's been a great stock. Maybe you know why now. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.